understand. You have to understand that the philosophy of building a business is by empowering people to learn better, to learn more. You see, I've said this a lot of times. The word learn has another word called earn. The more you learn, the more you earn. There's a lot of people that I notice is that they get stuck in this hole of learning and learning and learning, but never really applying the information. So make sure you're taking information, you're taking the notes, right? You're taking the notes, you're giving it to your team, possibly they weren't here, and then after that, actually applying it to the business. Now, my main topic, I told you, the dichotomy of leadership and invitation, and how to master the invitation, and how to convert these hesitant people, right? If you have some hesitant people that if you talk to, you know you're on the right path. You see, if nobody knows about what you're doing, nobody will buy from you. That's business 101. If nobody knows what to buy from you, you'll never, you won't really last in business. You see, anybody that I encounter, and that's why I called myself the Wolf of Wall Street, because when you talk about the Wolf of Wall Street as the movie, they're associated with finance right away. So when somebody talks to me, when somebody looks at my social media, they know I'm somewhat in money. I was at a conference a couple days ago. It was yesterday. And everybody that I met is like, oh, the finance guy, the wolf. Some people call me the wolf. Some people call me arrogant, but whatever. Besides the point. But my point is, the idea of what I wanted to get from my social media to these people got to the point. And listen, I don't prejudge. I talk to anybody and everybody out of my opportunity. Why? Because I know everybody at one point in their life, they want to know how to invest. They want to know how to trade. They want to get to the point where they're financially fit, financially free, whatever they call them, right? And it's important for you to understand this. It's like opening a restaurant, right? You're not going to call only people that if you have a sushi restaurant, only people that eat sushi. You're going to call everybody, tell them you have a grand opening of a business, because you take this as a business. And then after that, guess what? Whoever wants to come will come. Whoever doesn't want to come, cool. But guess what? Everybody knows somebody that wants to do something that you're doing. So when somebody talks to me like, hey, I'm not really into what you're doing. Okay, cool. Who do you know that is smart, intelligent, and, thinks properly, that wants to learn how to duplicate their money, multiply their money, learn how to trade, have our transformation course, have our mentorship calls, have our public speaking courses? Who do you know that I can get in contact with? And I've got many leads that kind of got that. So here's the thing. Let's talk about, let's say, friends. I get this question a lot, Rukan. How do you invite friends? You see, these are my friends, and I don't know how to invite them in a business way. We're friends. We're boys. We're girls. Very hard. And this is what I didn't do, and I effed up. But this is what I would tell you. If you're writing down the script, it is definitely gonna help you. So let's just say that person, their name is, I don't know. Let's create a name. Let's just take Steph. I don't know why Steph just popped in my head. Let's talk about Steph. So let's say I'm asking Steph, and Steph is a friend of mine, dear friend of mine. We've been friends for X amount of years. I'm like, hey Steph, I'm not asking you to buy anything, do anything, or sell anything. I'm not asking you to buy anything, do anything, or sell anything. I'm just asking you to look, because this is important to me. Can I count on you on watching this video? Can I count on you on coming to this event? Can I count on you on getting to this call? I just need you to learn what I'm doing, because this is important to me. Now, let me break down why these parts are at a different, why they're sectors of the invitation, right? You see, people are afraid of risk. 95% of people, not actually 98% of people are afraid of risk. Hence why 98% of people never do business, because it's risky, right? Risky. So when you approach somebody and tell them, listen, I'm not trying to get you to buy anything, do anything, or sell anything, you're taking the risk factor away from them. You're taking the risk factor away, and of course, it becomes more at ease that they can actually talk to. Right? That's number one. And you gotta understand, when I'm saying I'm just asking you to look because there's a book called Influence by Robert somebody, forgot his name, and it talks about the power of the word because. You see, as a leader, don't always tell people what to do. Explain the reason why they should do what they do. Explain the reason why they should do what you're telling them to do, because guess what? If they do what you tell them to do, they'll only do it like a job. If you tell them the reason why, they'll do it because it's their own business. Remember this. I need you to remember this. Always explain why people need to do things, right? And of course, you're using the friendship part, right? You're using the word, and of course, people are more likely to do something at the end when I said, hey, can I count on you? See, naturally as human beings, when I ask you, hey, can I count on you? Like, yes, absolutely, me, of course. You can count on me, right? Of course you can count on me. Why? Because people have this tendency to be counted on, right? See, I'm not asking you to buy anything, do anything, or sell anything. I'm just asking you to look, because this is important to me. Can I count on you to do this? To get here? Can I count on you? And these are, of course, immediate friends. And I believe, now there's many ways of invitation. There's many videos on YouTube. But this is one of the ways that I kind of had my, because I posted on social media and none of my friends kind of talked to me about it. But this is how I kind of got my friends in the door to just listen to the information. And then after that, they didn't end up signing up, but I got some leads from them, because they're like, I think I know a guy or two that would like what you're doing. Okay, cool. Let's talk to them, right? Let's talk to them. And this is why a lot of people be like, oh, well, tell me what it is, or what is it? Or well, what's happening here? Oh, what's this? What's that? Well, you got Sales 101. Sales 101, your enrollment ratio will always be less if you're talking on the phone rather than meeting up on a one-on-one. And that's the reality of things. Your enrollment ratio will always be less if you're doing it on the phone rather than face-to-face. Why? Because especially if you want to show them the network marketing side, they're actually building the business and, this, that, when you're doing it over the phone, there's a couple things that people are thinking when you're pitching. Number one is, do I want to do what they're doing? Now that's number one, right? Can I do what they're doing? That's number two. Can I do what they're doing? And you got to understand, 95% of people do not like sales. And if you're being salesy over the phone and trying to close the deal, they may buy, but it's not going to duplicate. And guess what? It's not what works. It's what duplicate. Now, I'm not saying not to go over the phone and close. Sometimes you got to do it. But if you have the chance to meet them in person and explain it in a simple manner, it'll be easier for you to duplicate that into a bigger organization. You see, majority of my top leaders never really came through a phone call. They came through meetings. Right? Some people did come through phone calls, especially people that are outside of the GTA, which is cool, but you gotta understand the people that are in GTA, you gotta teach them how to do this one-on-one. You gotta teach them how to talk on a one-on-one basis. You gotta teach these people how to approach people. And by the way, I recorded a video explaining how to do a one-on-one. It's a 15-minute video. And again, I'm in the process of editing. It'll be uploaded on YouTube very, very, very soon, right? So when somebody tells you like, hey, can you explain this? I don't understand this. It's like, listen, Steph, it's like giving you a haircut. I can't do it over the phone. It's impossible. I can't give it over the phone, right? So I gotta meet up with you. Let's meet up with you and let me explain what it is. And I promise you, I learned this the hard way. The best close is to shut up and smile. Shut up and smile and watch how they close themselves. You see, people that close themselves are 10 times more powerful than people that you have to close. I don't have to convince Bob that our opportunity is better than other opportunities. I don't have to convince what's another white name? Joe, right? Joe, I don't have to convince Joe that this opportunity is better than them working at a job or doing this. I have to give them the information and let them decide. Now, as a leader, my job is to lead them into the right direction, yes, but not convince. You see, I truly believe a person against their will is of the same opinion still. So the more that I convince, the more that they're going to have the exact same opinion, even if they get started. You see, signing up is not the hardest part. It's the work happens after the sign up. And you got to understand, right? Now, let's talk about the dichotomy of leadership. How does leadership tie into that? Because I'm telling you, I've seen my enrollment ratio personally get higher and higher the more I increased in my leadership style, the more that I know how to lead people. Now, I don't believe I'm a perfect leader. I don't think anybody is a perfect leader. We all have our ups and downs. We all have parts in our leadership that we have to work on. And that's exactly why you have to read books, why you have to watch videos, why you have to listen to the podcast. But there's a book that I read. It's called The Dichotomy of Leadership, and I fell in love with the idea of the book. Two guys wrote it. They were in the Navy SEALs. Listen, my dream was to be in the army. Not really to be in the army. I want to get just trained in the army and then kind of do whatever I want. But I guess it doesn't work like that in Canada. So I ain't doing no army stuff. I like network marketing, right? I like the freedom too much. But here's the thing. Couple of major topics, and I hold you guys this, writing this down, that they're talking about. And one of the major ones were leaders are well-rounded. Leaders are well-rounded. They were never going too far in any spectrum. I'm going to repeat this. Leaders are well-rounded. They never go too far in any specific spectrum. So, my biggest mistake as a leader when I first got started is I focused too much on the network marketing side and nothing on the trading side. And that's a mistake, right? This is 3 years ago. We kind of evolved. But 3 years ago, I didn't care because I saw the money right away in the network marketing. I'm like, I can build a big business. Let's go. Now. Yesterday. Now. Right? Now. Through evolving, I learned that, I gotta take a step back because guess what? I gotta be a product of my product. And I kind of learned that the hard way. But I had to be a product of the product. And once I'm a product of the product, I'm gonna learn how to trade and I'm gonna teach my team the basics. Listen, I'm not gonna act like an expert, but I'm gonna teach the team the basics and maybe some tricks on making more money in the trading side, right? Now, that's tip number one. Tip number two is care about people. Care about people, but always finish the mission. This is coming from the army. Care about people, but always finish the mission. Now, the mission can come in different sectors. Maybe the mission is your income. Maybe the mission is a big event. Maybe the mission is developing more people. Whatever your mission is, always finish the mission. You see, the reason why a lot of people don't finish the mission is because they quit before finishing the mission. Or they get into their feelings before they get the mission. Never get into your feeling because you haven't, I may be too much as a leader. Maybe I have to, take care of these people. Yes, take care of people, but the mission always comes first. You see, when you're in a war zone, you have to care about the soldiers. You have to care of them, but sometimes you have to finish the actual job. Because if you don't finish the job, all of you guys will die. And you don't want that on your leaders. You have to finish the mission because even if your leaders are wounded, but if you finish the mission successfully, guess what? They will heal because now they have to go back and actually reward the victory, right? Now, tip number 3 is take ownership but never micromanage. Another mistake that I did as soon as I hit 6 figures is I'm like, I'm a leader. I gotta step back. I heard about this duplication thing. I'm gonna see it work now, baby. Let's see. Guess what happened? No duplication happened. I'm like, whoa, I have no leadership. Now, it's not because I had no leadership. It's because running to 6 figures, I was micromanaging everybody, right? I knew what your numbers are. I knew exactly what your closing ratio is. I know exactly how you pitch, how you do this, and how you do this. And it led, when I pulled back, it let people loose. When people are loose, number one, they were loose. Number two, they were confused. And a confused mind does nothing. Right? For a leader to perform well, they must understand why they're doing what you're doing. Remember what I talked about this, right? They need to know why they're complaining. You need to know why you're inviting. You need to know why you're doing both network marketing and trading at the exact same time. Why? Because it's a great opportunity that you have nowhere else on earth. That's why. Right? It's a great opportunity to create a passive income while developing the skill set of trading, because we all know developing the skill set of trading is going to take time, but let me create a passive income that can duplicate over time. So by the time I'm a professional trainer, I already have a solid income coming through month after month after month. Right? A second approach I would do when inviting, especially when I sign up a new rep, like, hey, look, listen, Who do you know that would like to get into this 12-week boot camp with you? Because I truly believe when you create, when we have a couple of you guys start the 12-week challenge together, you'll get more results. So right now, I'm not only signing one person, I'm signing up their network as well at the exact same time. And then I'm giving them a 12-week course. So I'm guaranteeing some volume, some income for 12 weeks, so 3 months. And then after that, they're going to see some results. They're not going to quit. Now I'm guaranteeing people for a good chunk of time. That's how you keep people involved. 90 days to 90 days. 90 days to 90 days. Don't give them a year plan. Give them a 90-day plan. Give them something to look forward to 90 days. Hey, bro, I need you to watch the couple videos, the first 2 weeks. After that, one video a week. One video a week. If you want to really run, 2 videos a week. 2 videos a week, right? And finish that in 6 weeks. You can know everything about trading. That's the idea of how not to micromanage people, right? Get people get people below you to step up and lead. Get people below you to host an event. Get people below you to host a call. Get people below you to shoot a video, learn something, do some marketing. Don't wait on Kane. Don't wait on myself. Don't wait on other leaders to create a video for you. You as a leader, you gotta go learn. Listen, it's gonna look dumb in the beginning. If you scroll down on my Instagram, watch my dumb videos that I edited personally. They weren't cool, but I learned and I developed my leadership as a leader, right? So that's a tip. Training your team the right way. Please have one system that your team is getting trained on. And this is coming out of my heart. Sometimes you have to pull back. I'm the type of guy where I don't know how to pull back. I'm work 24/8. That's a mistake. That's a mistake that I have to work on. I have to, as a leader, work on mixing the fun and work. Because not everybody is like me. And you gotta understand, not everybody's like you. So if you're all fun, not everybody's all fun. If you're all work, not everybody's all work. You gotta have a mixture of both coming into what you're doing. When the plan isn't working, pull back. Look at it from a higher spectrum. Maybe ask your leaders and see what's happening in the actual field. Not based on emotions, actually what's happening in the field. That's how you know when a plan is really good or really not good, right? That's how you know when a plan is really good and a plan is not good. Right now, this is going to be hard. You have to learn when to mentor and when to fire. And as a leader, you have the power to fire people from your organization. I'm not talking about termination. I'm just talking about personally firing if they're not on the same level as you. If they're not playing in the same level field as you. If they're not really being coachable. You need to learn how to mentor people and how to fire people. Some people are just not meant for the job. That's the truth. Some people are just not meant for the job. That's the reality of things. Some people are not meant to be leaders. It's okay. Please understand this. It is okay for people to not be okay for the actual job. And don't take this as an egotistical thing. Sometimes you're just not fit for that spectrum. See, sometimes I should not be a master trader. Because I don't think I'll fit in that spectrum. That's not my thing. Right? Maybe I shouldn't be acting like a Forex guru because that's not my thing. And I am okay with it. I'm not egotistical. When I have somebody in the room that is better than me in that spectrum, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to allow them to do whatever, to teach the team. Because my ego is out of the room when somebody is more knowledgeable than me in that thing. So it's the same thing with you. It's the exact same thing with you, right? Don't over-aggressively build your business. That's another tip, right? Don't be too aggressive. You have to have a mixture of both. That's another mistake that I see a lot of people do. You gotta have a mixture of having both, being too aggressive and sometimes not aggressive, and you have to be disciplined but not rigid. You see, I used to, if I wake up late, typically my wake up time is 6 a.m. If I wake up at 7:30, 8, oh God, I'm gonna feel bad for the entire day. I'm gonna put myself into a bad mood, and it doesn't really help with business. So with yourself as well, be disciplined but not rigid, right? See, if you do too much, you're gonna stop thinking properly as a leader. And if you tell your team to be too rigid with their schedule, I learned that the hard way, they're not gonna start thinking for themselves. Then they're not gonna be able to think for themselves. They're gonna think like employees, and we don't need people to think like employees. We need people to think like entrepreneurs, right? Now, entrepreneurs work harder than employees, by the way. 10 times harder, 10 times longer hours, but they know what they're chasing. They're chasing freedom. They're chasing freedom. And hopefully that's what you're running for, right? Because as entrepreneurs, that's all we're running for. We're running for freedom. That's a tip. Another tip for you guys is don't hold hands. This may be hard to say, but try as much as you can to not hold hands. You see, accountability is really good. I used to be that leader. If I see something wrong, I'm going to call it out right away. I don't care about emotions. I'm just straightforward to the point. And no, that's not you have to learn how to read the personality, read people, read emotions before you be straight up with things, right? Accountability is good, but it's not everything. You see, sometimes you have to be accountable. You have to talk to the person that's causing this issue, this thing, something that happened wrong. You have to address it, but it's not always the right thing to do. You see, I told you guys, explain why people have to do the things that they need to do. And once they see why it's important and how it's going to benefit them, this is when they're going to do it. So, I'll give you guys an example. When I sit down with somebody and explain why they need to invite, I'll tell you why they need to invite. Number one is because if they invite, they're going to by default have people they're going to bring people at the event. Their team is going to see them bring people to the event. So by default, they're going to start inviting because their leader is inviting. So they're both going to be inviting. Now, that will help your team make money and you make money. And then you get promoted and you make more money. And then you lead and it's a circle. That's all it is. It's a circle. So understand that it's an important aspect of the business for you to not hold hands, but show them why they're doing, right? And when you're talking to leaders and they're giving you an issue, you have to learn how to not cope with it, right? A lot of times, listen, objections are not only for customers. Sometimes objections for your people, right? So, I had people that come to me and be like, hey, I'm having trouble with this. I'm always using the feel, felt, found. Even when there's objection on my team. Hey, bro, I feel you, right? I felt the same way, but what I found is, and I'm switching the script right now. I hope you guys are hearing me. I'm switching the script, and I want to show them the positive side. Some people are always going to be negative, but you always got to show them the positive side, the side that they can have a look into that can change their mentality and their ideology of what you're doing it. Hope that makes sense, right? Another part is you gotta lead by following. You see, leaders are good followers at all times. I still am such a good follower that everything that is told to me, I take it in, I study it, and I apply it. Why? Because I am a good follower. And for you to be a good follower, for you to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. Sometimes you gotta follow what your team is saying. I'll give you guys an example. I had a guy on my team back in the days that he said, listen, I'm launching this university. And I'm like, listen, bro, this university thing, I tried it and ate it. I couldn't take the lead on that mission because he launched the university and it actually became big. So if I actually prevented him to do it, that would have not been a big thing for our organization. So sometimes you have to pull back, and if they're more experienced I'll give you an example. I think Mishka is on the call. She's running the charity for the organization. Her and a couple other leaders. I don't want to forget anybody. Her and a couple other leaders are running the Game Changers charity organization. I have no clue. Zero. None. I do not know how to even start. I've been to maybe a couple of them. So they're going to take the lead on it. Because guess what? They know more than I do. They know more than I do, so I gotta allow them to take the lead on it, and it creates leadership in the organizations, right? So that's a good tip, right? If you guys are getting some knowledge out of this, we got a little bit more, a couple more nuggets. If you guys are getting some value out of this, drop some 111s in the chat. I want to see how more people are actually getting the show. If y'all getting the show, let's see. Y'all getting it? I see a lot of ones. All right. Okay, cool. So, let's get back to it, right? How can I say this? Another tip. You gotta be focused, but detached. So I'm focused on the opportunity, but I'm detached from the outcome. So I'm focusing on my numbers. I'm focusing on my volume. I'm focusing on my leaders. I'm focusing on what's happening. I'm focusing on the invite. I'm focusing on my event, but I'm detached from the results. Because I know it typically takes 90 days for me to see a result. So I'm not going to base it on day by day or week by week or month by month. Right? I'm going to be focused on what's happening right now, but I'm going to be detached from the results that's going to happen. Now, if it doesn't happen in 90 days, now I got to review the result and not get mad about it, shift some things to have a better result. That's all it is. All you got to do is shift some things. Always got to tweak it. And the more you tweak it, I promise you, the more you're having a better reach to your goal. You see, you don't have to know how to detach your emotions from the situation. You just gotta do it. You gotta look around. You gotta notice what's happening. So let's say, I'll give you guys some examples. When somebody leaves your team, or when somebody tells you, listen, this is not for me. I'm not gonna get attached to what they're saying. I'm gonna detach myself from the actual situation, and I'm gonna learn what should I do in the next in the next time this happens to me. So next time I'm gonna do this. Next time I'm doing this, and I'm always learning lessons. Right? You can't become so aloof that you don't know what's happening in the actual field, in the actual trenches. You can't just be a manager and not know what's happening. You see, I talk to many leaders, and some people don't even know how the volume works, which is a bad thing. It's a horrible thing. How do you not know how the products work? How do you not know how the compensation plan works in details by the T? I needed to sit down and figure this thing out. Why? Because I know people are relying on me, and I have to show up as a leader. I can't be so aloof and not know what's happening in the trenches. I gotta be in the trenches personally to show my team that I am doing something. And when you're doing something, don't do it quietly, do it loudly. Leaders do it loudly. I'm showing my team. Listen, it's okay to just do it, but showing your team that you're doing it is 10 times more powerful. 10 times more powerful. And if they don't do something about it, you know who you're working with, right? You'll know who you're working with. Now I'm gonna be truthful with you. This idea of balance is BS. I don't care what anybody says. This idea of balance in your life when you're launching a business is absolutely a complete BS. I tell my leaders, you have to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. So I remember when I first got started, 2 jobs, full-time school. I had to sacrifice a part of my income, quit one of my part-time jobs to focus more on trading and focus on building the business because I know it's going to pay me more in the long run. I hope you guys are getting this, right? But I had to figure that out, and then it took me to a full-time income and then a 6-figure income, right? And then a 6-figure income. You got to understand, you have to let people know that in the beginning, you just going to learn. You just got to be involved as much as you can to have the system really ingrained in your mind. And you have to be involved with your team as much as you can. Not only business, even sometimes just chilling with them to realign them, to reconfirm that our opportunity is meant for them. Sometimes all it takes is you to say one word, one smile. So I have a couple leaders on the team. They're like, hey bro, you said this last year and it resonated with me. And I promise you, I just said it because I was feeling like it at that point. Exactly why I tell people what I tell them, right? If you micromanage too much and you tell them too much, I promise you they won't think to themselves. So sometimes, and I do this sometimes, is I go 3 days without not telling anybody anything. And I want to see who does things. And I know now who to work with. And I'm going to promote people that are actually working so other leaders can start working as well. Right? And I'm going to, of course, show them that I'm personally working. And sometimes when your leaders make decisions, never get angry over them. And you got to ask yourself, well, is that decision going to impact my team in a negative way or going to impact my ego in a negative way? Is it going to impact my team in a negative way? Or is it going to impact my ego in a negative way? If it's going to impact my team in a negative way, I got to address it. If it's going to impact my ego, I got to check myself. Ego stands for edging God out. Edging God out. And you don't want to do that. I hope you're not going to do that, right? When your team makes a decision, you gotta step back and look at it from the outside in, and maybe ask a couple other people to confirm on what you're doing, right? And last but not least, stop over planning. It will never be perfect. So when you're launching an event, just do it. When you're doing a call, just do it. When you're doing a training, just do it. When you're doing an event, just do it. When you're doing an opportunity, just do it. When you're doing a one-on-one, just do it. Just do it. And I promise you, eventually, you will see as a leader how you can tweak things and take your business to the next level. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is I talked with my leaders last week, I believe, and there are 5 characteristics of a potential leader and what you kind of should do with them. Now, number 1, I believe, is leaders are independent. Leaders are independent, right? A person who doesn't need your help to grow their business. So my job with the organization is to get you guys independent as soon as possible. So I'm going to sign you up. I'm going to mentor you up until you're ready to go. And boss, go fly. Go fly. Don't bother me no more. Go. Right? Your job is to do it to somebody else. Your job is to do it to somebody else. Get somebody free. Go get somebody free. That's all you got to do, right? That's number 1, independent. Number 2, they have to be a problem solver. They have to learn how to solve problems. And solving problems is not giving it to your leader. That's not solving a problem. Solving a problem is actually getting the problem and solving it. Changing something, tweaking something, doing something that other leaders will not be able to think how to do it. Sometimes you got to spend money to solve a problem, so make sure you do it, right? Number 3, being consistent. Right? They're consistent with their activities. They're consistent with their promoting. They're consistent with their marketing. They're consistent with their training. They're consistent with talking to the leaders. They're consistent. Listen. This is something that I used to do and I stopped doing it and it hurt me a lot. And now I'm back to doing it every single day. Every single day. As a leader, my job is to, I literally have an alarm at 10 o'clock. It hits my phone. I got to hit up 10 to 20 people from an influencer page. And at 11 o'clock, my alarm clock hits again. And I got to contact 4 of my leaders and 4 brand new people on my team. Every single day. I have to do it. 4 leaders on my team, 4 brand new people on my team. If your team is not that big, talk to 4 people from your leaders, from people on top of you. Trust me, it will help. Ask questions. Ask how to invite. Don't be afraid to reach out. I'm telling you, the real leaders always reach out for help. Always, I've reached out for help plenty of times. Hey, what do I do about this? What do I do about this? Can I get your opinion on this? Is this the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Lead me. Show me the plan. Give me something that I can take on and learn how to do it, right? And I was always consistent with it. Number 4, they have big vision and they share the vision with their organization. You guys know, my vision is to create 10 6-figure earners by December 2020. It was my last year. We had a shake. It's fine. It's the exact same goal. We just pushed the timeline, and I promise you, this year I'm going to make it happen. This year I'm going to make it happen, right? I learned a lot last year. I'm like, well, I'm building locally. I have a team of 1,000, 2,000, 3. I'm building locally. Now my job is to learn how to build globally, right? I'm a 6-figure earner, so they told me you have to build locally to build globally. Okay, well, I build locally, so I got to learn how to build globally now. I don't know how to do it. I guess I'll figure it out. Right? I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna buy this course. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna reach out to other leaders. Hey, what do I do? Because I have a big vision, and my goal is to share the vision with you guys. We're gonna have 10 6-figure earners by December. I don't know who they are, but it's gonna happen. Do you know how great of opportunity is? Right? Anybody that comes to me and asks me, hey, listen, I don't have time to recruit 200 people. What is gonna take me to get to a full-time income? Well, boss, all you gotta do is for at least a month, and you're pretty much making $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Every month. You can do 4, you get 4. Cool. If you do the math, when you're selling 4 elites, you're making the company $6,000 and making 4 of them. I've never seen an opportunity like this. You gotta understand the older people, the people that actually have the money, they don't have time to recruit 200 people. It's not realistic. But trust me, they have time to recruit 4 elites. It's no problem. Direct circle, $4,000. And that pays for their membership fees for a year and a half, by the way. For a year and a half. Understand this concept. I have yet to see an opportunity like this. Because I'm done. I'm literally done underselling my product. Underselling. I hope you guys are understanding this, right? So number 4, big vision and sharing the vision. It causes people to get more action. The last thing, these leaders create more actions, right? They create more actions. If you walk into a room, do people get to work? Do people start inviting? Do people start calling people? And if not, trust me, they don't respect you at a point as a leader that they respect your presence in that room to help the organization grow at one point. So I know if I'm in a room, I'm going to talk about something productive, do something productive, or help the team do something productive. It has to happen. It has to happen. And if it happens like that, I promise you, it will take the organization to the next level. And you have to understand, there's some numbers in network marketing and they'll never change. 70% of your organization will never sell a product. It's the truth. It's industry numbers. 70% will never do anything. 20% will recruit maybe 2, 3, maybe. So now we're at 90%. So 90% probably did nothing, right? 5%, they're going to recruit anywhere from 3 to 5 people. I'm talking over lifetime. 3%, they can recruit 6 to 10 people. And only 2% is going to recruit 10 and above. And these are your superstars. 2% gets 98% involved. This is why I'm telling you guys, do not hold hands. Start shuffling with your calls. Start working with leaders. If people right now are not listening to you, are not being coachable, I promise you, let the system take care of them. And check on them once a week. Check on them twice a week. That's it. Start looking for a leader that's going to build your business. Somebody today was talking to me about the lottery. Like, hey, somebody won $5 million. Your chances of winning an MLM is 10 times more powerful than winning the lottery. I promise you that. All you got to find is 2 solid people, 2 geniuses that want to build a business. And not even geniuses, people just common sense that want to build a business online that can pay them a lot of money. I promise you, you'll watch your income grow. Now, for you to get the 2, you got to recruit 20. That's how it is. So start looking into who you're going to recruit. Start looking on who you're going to provide value for, right? Recruiting doesn't always have to be sitting down and doing a presentation. Sometimes it's sitting and showing somebody the basics of Forex, giving them some value and maybe maybe asking them for a sale after. Do whatever you can to get the sale done. Right? With that being said, I will drop the video hopefully in the next 24 hours on YouTube. But that's kind of all I had for today. I appreciate you. If you guys had understood what I'm talking about, drop some fire emojis in the chat. Let's see if the team's still excited about what we're doing. And, hey, before we end this call, never mind this. We have to start contacting leaders and letting them know that these calls are important. You have to make sure your teams are on this. I need you to look right now. How many people from your team are on this call? And if you're a leader and you're making a residual income and there's none of them here, your income is in danger. If your team is not learning, they're not progressing, they're going to quit. It's the reality of things. I need you guys to really take this very, very seriously. These calls are the only calls we have as a team. One call. You got to tell your team, you want to make a lot of money, you got to come to one call and one event a week, mandatory. I don't care how busy you are. I'm telling you, you got to take one step back to take 2 steps further.